All righty. Well, welcome to our pop-up. This one's going to be a quickie because it's already 10 minutes after. So I guess we should start. What do y'all think? All right. Well, yeah. Everybody's yeah. Okay. So we're going to simply talk about virtual parties tonight. Have you guys started using the new outline yet? Have you had a chance to? No? Okay.
Next week.
Have you guys had a chance to look through it? Yeah, what are your thoughts on it so far?
I was very skeptical, but I really like it.
Okay.
Because I really liked the last one you did, and I feel like I didn't get to fully use the last one you did before it was time for a new one. And so I was not wanting to move on, but I do really like it. I think you did a really good job.
I like all the engagement posts in it.
Awesome. And that's really what we're trying to stretch towards, is really making almost every post engagement in some way. So that as you're, posting, it's not just about the products anymore. It's actually about the conversations versus just the products. So what are some other things you guys noticed in the virtual party outline? Anything else different?
The pictures.
The pictures?
Like the making it more personal.
Yeah, so you noticed that I was giving you guys some verbiage of what I'm going to post and my pictures that I'm using versus it just being a standard outline. And so I would definitely strongly recommend that you guys visit and do that. Even if you just take 3 or 4 pictures of yourself with a product using a product. I really think that it just helps to connect you with the people a little bit better. It's different when they see your face versus someone from Pampered Chef that they know is just like a stock image. It definitely helps to gain a different level of connection with people. Really the theme is very similar to the New Year, New You outline, as far as how I have it written, that it's a breakfast day, lunch day, 2 dinner days, a dessert day, and then a snack day, and then, your front and your end, your kind of bookmarks or bookends of the outline. Because I got a lot of really good feedback with that there was a lot of different types of recipes, spread throughout versus it just being all standard main course recipes, all dessert recipes, whatever. So the challenge is really on you guys, though, to make sure that you're using the outline, first and foremost, that you're using the complete outline, okay? So that you're not picking and choosing the posts. Because really when I write them, it's designed so that one day leads into the next day. So like on breakfast day, there's a post about the breakfast sandwich maker. And it talks about how, watch out for tomorrow, there's going to be a lunch recipe with the breakfast sandwich maker. So if you're picking and choosing, you might end up being a little kind of skewed, meaning that, they're like, wait a minute, I never seen a recipe for this, or I never seen a recipe for this. So just make sure you're aware of that, and then the other thing is that, I write the outlines so that the party starts on Thursday, ends on the next Friday. So just make sure that you're aware also that if you start your parties on a different day, that you're going to need to change up some of the wording throughout the outline to reflect that, okay? Because like on the very first day on Thursday, it kind of gives the week agenda, or I think it's on Friday, it gives the week's agenda. And so you would definitely need to change, the days of the week on the agenda then. But for the most part, I've heard very positive feedback. Gail has been doing parties with it already. I have 3 parties going right now. They're all qualified with it. And parties just started on Friday. So that's a pretty good sign. Gail has 2 parties going with it right now. And I think both of her parties are almost qualified. Of course, Tiffany probably has parties, but I haven't talked to her to see how things have been going. She just told me that her notifications are blowing up, kind of like the last outline did. So that's always a positive thing for me. So what I found with the New Year, New You outline was, though, that you had about 3 days of really, really strong engagement, and then it kind of fizzled out a little bit. And so that's why I'm trying to maintain that the engagement through the entire outline versus just being the 3 days. So just getting better and better, each time we write an outline so that we can maintain that. And then, of course, I'm trying to be a little bit more aware of different price points And of course, the biggest focus is on recruiting. That's one of the biggest changes that we've made within the last 2 outlines, is that we're really talking about the business a lot more, so that hopefully, you know, some of those conversations can start for you guys, so you can kind of get the, you know, the feelers of people that might be interested in the business. So are you guys excited about the $39 recruiting for new consultants this month? Yeah, me too. And so I was like, what perfect timing for a new outline, a new catalog, and then the $39 special also for new consultants to sign. So I think that definitely, you know, if you're talking with people, really talking about the fact that, you know, on day one or on Friday and Saturday, when you have the breakfast sandwich maker mentioned in there, and then later on in the week, the microwave pasta cooker is mentioned in there. You know, if you have people chatting it up about those products, make sure that you're also mentioning the fact that, you know, they can get that $39 kit and start a business and get that product inside that kit, you know, this month. So it was kind of weird. It was just great timing overall. So do you guys feel like you need any help with virtual parties? Is there any questions that are on your minds? Anything that I can offer to you? Pretty good. Everybody's good. Okay. Awesome.
I do, if you could just talk a little bit about like booking within the virtual party, because like I know that there's posts, but I feel like those are the posts, like I have full engagement on everything else, and then as soon as like a book your own party post comes up, it's like crickets. And so okay. I just want to know like how you combat that.
So I am a big believer in the private message. Okay. So as you're, you know, if you're having a lot of conversations with the same person over and over again, where you notice that they're just totally engaged with the party, they're interacting on almost every single post with you. I try to open up a dialogue somehow through private message. So in my conversations with them, I try to find out what products they already have from Pampered Chef. So, you know, maybe I'm talking about, maybe I'm on the Rock Rock post, okay? And I'm like, oh my gosh, do you already own this? And they're like, yeah. And then I'm like, so do you, you know, did the consultant you buy it from, did they send you the email cookbook? And if they say no, I'll say, hey, hold that thought. Let me send you a private message with, you know, a 25-page book of recipes for your Rock Rock. So then I take it to private message, okay? So I try to get them to talk about what they have that I might have access to something as far as a cookbook goes, okay? So that I can smooth my way in there and send them a private message. Or if I find that I have someone asking a lot of questions about something, if it's, you know, constant, like, you know, we're talking about, I don't know, the quick cooker and they're asking 15 questions, I might be like, hey, I'm going to send you a private message so, you know, I can give you more details about it. Okay. So it's really about trying to get from the Facebook party to the private message. So if I get to the end of the party and I don't really have anyone that I've private messaged with yet, then I go ahead normally on Thursday. So the day before party, you know, ends, I send everybody that interacted somehow on the party, I send them a private message. So if you go on the Wolfpack Virtual Parties group, I actually posted the words that I've been sending to people. And it's really just to thank them for their participation, see what they thought of the party, and then ask them if they have any questions about any products. Okay. So nothing is mentioned about booking a party yet. Okay. So it's just really to start that conversation with them so that I can get them talking, so that then I can lead into, you know, the fact that if they book a party, it's going to help, you know, Sarah get a 50% off item at their party. Okay. So that's where I found I'm getting the most of my bookings, is definitely through a private conversation with people. If I'm at the end of the party, then that's when I go to my host and be like, look, you know, hey, I know you're going to have still a couple things on your wish list when the party's over. Which 2 friends do you think would want to book a party? And then I kind of have them work for me. Okay. So I kind of make them do all the work at that point, which is nice. It's a nice feeling. So, you know, some of the other ways that you can get a conversation started. So if you look in the very beginning of the outline, there's a post where you're supposed to go live, okay, to introduce yourself. Don't you give me that face. But you're supposed to go live just to introduce yourself, to, you know, start your story off, and then give the secret word, okay? And if they send you a message with the secret word, then they get 25 points or whatever points is in the post. And again, that's really just designed to get them to message you, okay? That's the only reason we use a secret word, and it really does work. So that's what I recommend, Sarah, is just trying to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Tactful, and getting it to a private message, okay? So really,
would you recommend, so like when I did my party, when I used to think that you counted everyone's points. And so like I picked 3 winners, like because I had 3 people that were super engaged the whole party. And so like when I send them a message to like say, hey, you won, can I have your address to send you a gift? Could I also include, like, could I also send you a new catalog, like, to take a look at? Like, I don't know how to say it, like, something like that, because then I'm already messaging them because they won something, but then, like, I also want to book a party because they were engaged the whole time.
So
like, I feel like those would be the prime people.
Yeah, so another thing that you could do then is say, hey, you were my prize winner, and I normally always send a catalog with my prizes. So could I interest you in booking a party, though? I'll send an extra catalog for you. That way I'm saving, you know, some postage. And then, again, I would take it back to the fact that their friend gets extra benefits off of it. Okay?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, so that's one way of doing it. You know, the other way to be a little less direct would be to, when you mail out the prize, put a golden ticket inside of it, you know, that says, contact me in the next, 30 days and book a party and get an extra $20 free, or whatever, you would want to do for free for them. I think the biggest, for me, the biggest thing is about getting it personal, though, really getting those connections going and getting the conversations going, because that is what I feel like where I get most of the bookings from, both in a cooking show setting and in a virtual party setting. I think that the more that you can get people to get that wall down, which when you're finding out personal stuff. So that's why that was another change that I made with the outline, to get them to kind of post a little bit more personal stuff. So, what's their family, favorite activity that they do, about their kids, whether they have kids. And again, these are all strategic, right? These are all very strategic things that I'm posting, because if they have kids, that most of the, then a great follow-up question is, oh, do you work outside of the home, or are you a stay-at-home mom? Okay. So everything's built on finding out more so that I can kind of see what direction I can head in as far as recruiting or hosting goes.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, it's really all about getting it, I think, to the private message. Most people don't feel comfortable just coming out and saying, hey, I'll book a party, right? Most of the time. Occasionally, like I had a lady this weekend that was like, I'll book a party. Okay, I'll gladly book a party with you. That's fine. But most of the time I find that it's not really something that they volunteer, but it's something that they want to be asked, That's a good question, though. Branda, do you have any questions? No, she's a rock star. Look at her. Yeah, Walt, how are you going to become a rock star if you don't ask questions? I know you're not shy.
No, I can't think of any right now.
Your brain is soup.
Yeah, because of tomorrow night.
You're going to be fine. So Branda has a cooking show tomorrow night with a crazy psychotic lady. I'm just joking. I mean, her boss. She's really psychotic, but that's okay.
All correct.
So Branda, I think you'll be fine. I think that you are the kind of person I don't see to be a pushover. I don't think you're going to let anybody push you over. I just know that if you get there and like no one shows up, please, 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 please do not take that personally because she has set you up.
Yeah.
You know?
When you tell her it's your cooking show, have a knife.
I have a chef's knife and I'm not afraid to use it.
Yeah. And I just, what exactly do you put in your host packets for cooking shows? I was going to put the recipe for each thing, and like the monthly special and an order form and a book.
Are you talking about for the guests at the party?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. I don't normally do the recipes because, again, it's a chance for me to email or connect with them after the party.
Okay.
Okay. So I normally will say, hey, you know, if you want the recipe tonight, I normally have them with me. So most of the time people just grab my recipes and take pictures of it. But I would say something like, hey, if you want the recipe, write recipe up by your name and circle it, and then I'll email the recipe to you.
Okay.
Okay. So again, it's just another way to kind of touch base after the show is over.
You're sneaky.
A girl, heck yeah, I am. Mm-hmm. All about it's tact. Everything is tactful. You know, it's how can I get another conversation going with this person? That's what I'm always thinking. Like that's what I'm always thinking about every single person and every single party is how can I touch base with them again? Like after every show, I go through everybody's order forms. And like if I see someone, you know, as I'm doing a cooking show, like if I'm using the Deep Cover Baker, I talk about, hey, you know, I have, you know, so talking about the Deep Cover Baker, and then I'm like, yeah, we have like a 30-page recipe booklet that I can send. And normally you have a customer that's like, oh my God, I already have that, right? I already have the Deep Cover Baker. I never got the email cookbook. Okay, well, write Deep Cover Baker up by your name and circle it, and I'll send you the email cookbook, right? Or if I'm using the brownie pan, and we know we have the e-cookbook for the brownie pan, it's all those products, like any way that I can send them something else to just reconnect with them, you know? So, I mean, that's a great tip for customer service even now, you know, to go back through your order forms or go back through your customer history, and anyone that's bought something from you that there is an e-cookbook for, you know, it's a great reach out. Hey, Sarah, how have you been? Just want to check and see how your brownie pan's doing. Here's some recipes for you. Hope you enjoy them, right? And most of the time, if you take the extra initiative to just send something to someone without them asking for it, they're going to email you back and say thank you. Those are the things people remember, right? They remember how we make them feel. We want them to get the warm fuzzies so that they know at 7:15, if my quick cooker is not working, I can send Becky a voice message, right? Help, Becky, I need help. And Becky will answer her phone. That's what you want to get to, though. You know, that's the point of your business, that your customers know that they can rely on you. And so those customers that know that they can pick up the phone and just call you when they have a Pampered Chef emergency, you know, those are the ones that are also going to refer you to their friends, right? Because people don't just refer you to their friends. They don't, that doesn't just happen, right? They have to actually trust that you're going to take care of their friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, just, it's little things like that though, Branda, about like, you know, how can I reach back out after the show? So even if you know, don't have anyone request for the recipes after the show, it's just good practice the day after to go through an email or text message everyone. I prefer text messaging everyone because you get a better response that way than emailing. To just say thank you so much for coming to Sally Sue's party. You know, it was really nice to meet you. Was there any questions that I can help answer? Because I'm sure it was chaotic and crazy. You know, was there any other product questions that you had? And again, if you didn't, you know, get a booking initially, then you could always maybe get one now because you're reaching out, you're taking your time out to now go back to that person again, you know?
So like just the guest packets, then make them very plain and simple, like an order form and a book, and like the monthly special.
Simple, stupid KISS system.
Okay.
Simple, stupid. Yep. So I do a catalog, an order form, the Join Us brochure, okay, because you want to have your business information in there. And then I have the Specials at a Glance flyer. That's got the recruiting special, this month's special, the guest special, and the next month's host special on it.
Okay.
That's all I put in there. That's it.
Okay.
Yep, keep it very simple.
Okay.
Zach, did you have any questions at all? All righty. Well, Brandon, did you have any more questions at all about your cooking show, or you think everything's good?
I think I'll be all right. Or I should say I don't have any questions.
Okay.
I think the main one was just about the guest packets because I didn't want to overwhelm them.
Yeah. If you think of anything between now and then, just let me know. Okay.
What are your thoughts on point? Like, I know you had said about the golden ticket thing with the other thing that we were doing. If I made up a thing, like if you find the certain thing in your guest packet, you'll receive like free shipping if you book a show, kind of thing. Is that a good?
You can do whatever. I typically,
Is that a good idea, or?
I try to make sure that my show is profitable first before I offer any extra incentives. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So depending, like, I don't always walk into a show with a game plan because I need to make sure of how many people are there first. Like, if I have 20 people there, I know I'm going to have $1,000 show easily.
Yeah.
So if I know I'm going to have $1,000 show, then I can easily afford to spend, $5 or $10 on something. So I do the ticket activity. You've seen me do that. I do the ticket activity. That's kind of an icebreaker. It's a good way to get people talking. And then later on, I use it, of course, to get recruiting information out there. And then I give, the free shipping out normally, or a product, one or the other.
Yeah.
Whoever wins the ticket. I mean, if you're looking for bookings, there's nothing wrong with taking a couple host packets with you. This is another good thing a lot of my friends do. Take 2 or 3 host packets with you that are already made for cooking shows. Have Post-it notes with your next available cooking show dates on them. And say, hey, if you grab one of my host packets and bring it up to checkout later on, I'll give you $20 extra free at your party.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And so that, again, it just incentivizes people in the beginning. Like, you could say, hey, these are laying right here. If you decide you want to book one, it takes the pressure off of you a little bit. But it also, at the same time, it encourages them. And so, of course, before checkout, then you could just give a reminder. Just remember, I have these 3 host packets here. They all have my next 3 cooking dates on them. If you book a party with me tonight and grab one of these dates, that you'll get $20 and free when you have your qualifying show with me. You could even, layer on there, something extra for like your host if you wanted to. But I probably wouldn't do that.
She made sure to tell me today. She's like, you should probably give me something in front of other people, just so they could see that I received a gift for hosting a party.
Bitch, you getting host rewards.
Yeah.
Oops, I guess I shouldn't have cussed. Sorry. That slipped out. Totally slipped out. Y'all know I'm better than that. I apologize right now if I offend anyone. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I mean, you could give her a season's best.
Yeah. that was yeah.
Citrus peeler.
Citrus peeler. Yeah.
That's my go-to.
Okay, hold on. Let me find something. What's in my pocket? Oh, there's some lint. Here you go.
I think right now that's all the questions I have. I might have more for you tomorrow as my day is going on and I'm thinking about things. Yeah,
well, let me know. Okay.
Okay.
No problem. All right. If nobody else has any more questions, we're going to cut it because it's 8:30. 8:32. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining me.
Bye.
Bye, guys. I'll see you soon.